Hi there guys, my name's Jack Ayres and today I'm going to be going over the RevAMP program overview. RevAMP is a support program that myself and Limb Power have partnered up to create, and it's to support single leg amputees of all ages and abilities to get fit, to get active and to choose healthy habits. So today I'm going to be going through the warm-up elements of the program. We are going to be going through a number of exercises standing and then finishing on the floor. Now, this isn't the program, this is just an explanation of some of the exercises. So if you want to find the full program, you need to get in touch with myself or Limb Power and find out how you can get involved with this program. Okay, guys, so like I said, this is the warm-up. The first exercise that we are going to go through is simply walking on the spot. So I want you to think about opposite hand, opposite leg, opposite hand, opposite leg. Now you can notice for myself, I find it quite hard to balance on one side. So I want you to really think about planting your prosthetic leg down, finding that balance and not collapsing too much over the prosthetic limb. Okay, so like you said, this is something that I struggle with myself. It's something that I have to work on quite hard, which is really nice for a warm-up. It means we get nice and switched on through our core, through our hips. We build a really good motor skill awareness, so our proprioception, our balance of our prosthetic limb. We build a good understanding of how the limb feels as well. So the first exercise is simply walking on the spot and thinking about trying to drive your sound knee as high up in the air and kick that prosthetic leg out as high as possible. Marching with the arms, and as we get comfortable, we just pick up the pace. Okay guys, so that is your first exercise for the warm-up. Our second exercise is a side step. We're simply going to step to the side, bring those heels together, step to the side, bring those heels together. Nice big step across. Again, standing up nice and tall, and as we get comfortable, we just increase the pace. Again, really good for building on our motor skills, really good for building on awareness of where our prosthetic limb is within the space. Okay, our next exercise is something called a wood chop. You're going to put one hand up into the air, reach forward, so you're twisting through the body to try and touch that foot and twisting up. Now, what I'm not doing is bending forwards and rounding my back and doing this. Okay, what you think about nice straight back, rotating round and back up, rotating round and back up. Now, when it comes to the prosthetic side, I find because you haven't got the balance or the control through the foot or through the ankle, you might find that your balance and control is a little bit more challenged. So at this point, you might want to use your hand, especially as this is our warm-up. So as you start to get through the exercise, you might find that your range of motion becomes bigger and you might be able to get off with that hand and find a bit more control through the prosthetic side. Our next exercise is a flag. We're going to go hands here, make a V shape, hands here, nice and wide apart, hands here, nice and wide apart, and then you're simply going to repeat and repeat. Okay, now at the top, what we do is a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a ballistic stretch, just to get nice and warmed into it. Okay, so that is flags. We're now going to go onto the floor and go through something called rolling crucifix. With a rolling crucifix, ideally we want to be able to bend our knees. Your hands are going to go out to the sides. You're going to roll your knees to one side, rolling over to the other. Now this can be done with straight legs. If we can't roll the knees, you'll just find the roll won't be quite as much an exaggerated stretch through the midsection. So ideally, like I said, bend those knees. You can put your hands onto your ribs, or you can put your hands to the sides. You can roll over, feel a nice big stretch through your lower back, and rolling all the way over to the other side. Now, if you find this is quite a harsh stretch on your back, then you don't want to be touching the floor straight away. You want to be building into that range of motion. Our next exercise is a seated teapot stretch. Our legs are going to be nice and wide. We're going to thread one arm under, thread one hand over to try and touch that foot, looking up to the ceiling and back through. over. Once you've done the amount of reps that's programmed, you're then going to move on to the next side. Okay, then your very last exercise, I'm going to do work on a hamstring stretch. So legs up straight in front of you. You want to think about pulling both your toes towards you. Try and hold those toes. You're going to hold for 5 seconds. You're going to relax off. Pull those toes towards you. Reach 5 seconds. This time a little bit further. So a deeper stretch. Pull yourself in a little bit more. Relax. And we'll go again. And relax there. Okay? So that is the warm-up explained. And hopefully those exercises are now as clear. You're going to go through all of these exercises a number of times, whatever's programmed, before you start your main circuit. I'm now going to go through the main circuit.